Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at weather through next week. In today's video, it looks like it's going to be staying very cold next week. I'm afraid there's no sign really of anything particularly mild coming up over the next few days. Very cold weather. Looks like it's going to be persisting for a long time to come. Absolutely extraordinary the way this year is panning out. It just seems to be no end really to the cold weather. No sign really of the spring getting going. Now, before I get on with the video, I just want to make sure the advertising may usually be a video ad sitting underneath my web videos at GazWebVids.com. Please play us in the ads. You'll be supporting GazWebVids.com by doing that. Just want to hark back to the video I did the other day, talking about Central England temperature and how this March was fitting in. This is the latest update from the UK Met Office from Hadley for the Central England temperature up to the 28th of March, so up to yesterday, and we're now at 3.0. Comfortably now underneath the Central England temperature of February, which was 3.2. Meaning that this is the coldest March of the winter months, although it's a spring month officially. We're colder than any of the winter months at 3.0, and this is likely to drop a little bit more over the next day or so as we go to the end of the month. Of course, we've got to get to 2.8 to equal the Central England temperature from March 1962. That was the coldest March of the 20th century. If we should get to 2.7, we'll actually have the coldest March since the Victorian era, so definitely looking like a cold March whichever way you cut it, and it looks as though we're going to be staying pretty cold over the coming period. These are the GFS temperature ensembles. Remember, the red line here, the thick red line, is the average for the time of year. It's where we should be at this point in the year. We're well under that red line at the moment. Very, very cold temperatures really, and we're staying cold for the next period for the foreseeable future. Here is April the 1st, just here. We're staying very cold for that. I mean, as we go beyond that, well, there's a little bit of scatter coming along as we go through the first week of April, but really these temperature ensembles, these members of the ensembles, are staying pretty cold, at least at -5 at 850 HPA. And beyond that, evening towards the second week of April, which starts here, the 8th of April is there. We're staying very cold really. We get more scatter in the ensemble as we go out towards the middle of the month. You'll expect that as members of the ensemble sort of lose the pattern, but really the idea is that we're keeping it cold, we're keeping it below average very much for the foreseeable future. Not much in the way of precipitation coming up either, so we're going to have quite a dry sort of start to April, I think. Temperature anomalies next week, Friday the 29th to Friday the 5th. We're staying below average, staying colder than average across the British Isles, and much of Europe staying colder than average as well. So if we have a look at the generic charts from the GFS model first of all, and this is the chart for Tuesday. The high pressure is still there, blocking to the north and the northeast of Scotland, still feeding in this easterly flow off the bitterly cold continent. As we go beyond this in towards Wednesday and Thursday, we're maintaining that easy wind. In fact, we're tightening the isobars there, meaning that the winds will get stronger through next week, possibly bringing in some snow showers again to eastern and southern parts of the country. Certainly it'll feel bitterly cold in that easterly wind coming around that area of high pressure. These are the upper air temperatures for Thursday, just showing that we're well below average. -5 isotherm is clearing the country, or is clear of the country. It will be very very cold indeed. As we go beyond towards next Friday, well, the easterly wind is maintained there across England and Wales, and then going out to the 10-day period, what we're going to find is that high pressure start to become more centrally located over the country, but that's still very cold underneath that high pressure. Be very frosty, particularly at night. No sign of the Atlantic breaking through, introducing those milder Atlantic air, that milder Atlantic air I should say. Having a look at the ECMWF, and the high pressure is dominating the weather up to the northeast of the country as we go into Tuesday the 2nd of April. We're bringing in this easterly wind across the country, so it will be bitterly cold, and as we go beyond this, we actually tighten the isobars, so very much in agreement with the GFS really that we tighten the ice bars across England and Wales, bringing very cold air in off the continent. There could be snow showers feeding in with this next Thursday, so we have to keep an eye on this. It could bring in some more snow, which I believe to eastern parts of the country. Notice the high pressure also starting to become centred around Iceland and Greenland as well. Look what happens as we go in towards next Friday. This is a week away. Very much a northeasterly wind blasting down across the country. It will be bitterly cold, and we'll have hard frost and risk of snow showers as well. As we go up beyond that, just a suggestion that we might drop down a cold front. That's on the kink in the isobars there next Saturday, and introduce bitterly cold northerly wind, and that would be bringing in snow not from the east but from the north. So East MWF very much on the cold side, with easterlies turning to northerlies later next week. Absolutely unbelievable charts really from the ECMWF this morning. Finally, the GEM, the Canadian model, feeding in that easterly wind across the country on Tuesday, and as we go out beyond this, tightening the isobars again across England and Wales. So all models are in agreement that we increase the easterly wind as we go through next week. This is Thursday, the 4th of April. All models in agreement that we're increasing that easterly wind. Could be bringing in snow with that easterly wind, snow showers at least anyway, to eastern parts of the country, maintaining that easterly and cold flow across the country as we go into Friday. Then the GEM kind of wants to build that high pressure around the country, although with this low pressure just coming into Scotland, the suggestion is there again that we could be looking at some sort of northerly, and very much a northerly trough setting up over Scandinavia and eastern parts of Europe as well. But whatever way you cut it, it looks like we're staying very cold throughout next week. There's no sign of an end to this cold weather, no sign of proper spring conditions arriving back in the country. So very unusual weather patterns continuing well on into April, going at least through the first week, probably into the second week of April as well, maintaining the cold weather, keeping the unusually blocked weather patterns with winds from an easterly or a northerly point, depending on which model you look at which particular time. Yeah, no sign of an end to the cold weather. Could be more snow showers at least in the eastern and northern parts of the country later next week, and just maintaining the cold feel, no sign of spring. Well, come back tomorrow, I'll be doing the week ahead forecast, but that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Happy Good Friday.